I had felt no connection to it. You're just sounding like you're playing guitar.
Basically everything in Chinese culture.
And just follow your bliss.
And follow your heart. Hello everyone. Today I invited my friend Daniel here to do this conversation with you guys. So Daniel, can you introduce yourself a little bit?
My name is Daniel Berkman, and I'm a multi-instrumentalist in San Francisco. And my main instrument is the kora, which is a West African harp. But I've started studying Guqin about 2 years ago.
Yeah, and the funny thing is Daniel and we actually met each other on the Red Note 小红书 by coincidence. I just saw Daniel's post and then we just keep talking and he's like, I got a performance here at Berkeley. And I'm like, I'm in Berkeley as well. And that's the first time we met.
Yeah.
And then we played Guqin on like very first meeting right at Berkeley campus. And Daniel plays really, really impressive and good Guqin music. And you can also like follow Daniel's account to see how good he plays. And then Daniel, can you talk about like why you are even interested in Guqin in the very first place?
So I've been interested in Taoism and Tai Chi for over 35 years, ever since I was a little boy. So my interest in Chinese culture grew from that. I had a friend who studied Tai Chi, and I started learning. I was in my late teens. It was like 18. And then I started listening to Chinese music, and I discovered the pipa, which I loved, and the yangqin, which is the hammered dulcimer.
Oh, yeah.
Later learned about the guzheng. It just kind of over the years learned more and more. An ex-girlfriend of mine, her father plays Guqin.
Oh.
And he lives on Whidbey Island. And so when I'd visit there, he showed me his instrument, and I
fall in love with it.
No, actually, I had felt no connection to it until I think 3 or 4 years ago. I was playing kora in San Rafael for, they call it the World Folk Jam. And he had me play, and I walked in with my instrument, and here was Paul C. Wang playing the Guqin.
Wow.
Right before I was supposed to play. And that was when it clicked for me. And I realized, I think I need to play this instrument because it ties in Taoism with Tai Chi and Chi cultivation, self-cultivation. And I love ancient instruments have a unique and special culture.
Right.
Like the kora or the viola da gamba. All these instruments I love that have spiritual connections and healing properties.
Okay, I have many questions. But first, how many instruments can you play?
Oh gosh, maybe 20 instruments, I don't know.
20 instruments?
Maybe less.
Does that help when you like begin learning a new instrument like Guqin?
Yes, it helps a lot. Yeah, because David Wong, my teacher, he mostly teaches me just by showing me.
Yeah, right.
And then I have very good ears, and I play slide guitar too. So it's similar, but it's not the same.
I tried guitar last week. I think it's really hard.
Guitar?
Yeah, like my hands are very small and I cannot even hold it tight.
It is. It's very challenging. And then slide guitar is a whole other thing. Because slide guitar, you're using probably your middle finger or your index finger to slide on the neck. But the Guqin, you're using your thumb, and it's instead of like this, you're playing like this.
Oh, yeah. But that's so much easier, no? Like you can literally look at it.
Yeah.
But with guitar, no.
Yeah, with guitar,
you just remember the location.
Yeah.
With Guqin, you can locate the place with your eyes.
Yes.
You just don't need to look at like your right hand. But for the left hand, it's okay. It's under control.
Yes, exactly.
So I heard like some people say that Guqin is actually good to learn when you are an adult compared if you are a children. How do you feel about that?
I agree, because the Guqin, it comes from, well, it's music from the scholars. Yeah, and the elite class. So they were intellectuals. They thought about nature. They thought about the cosmos. They thought about the nature of humanity, and and this is why the music, I think, requires a little bit of experience to really get into the stories and to get into the feeling. And for me, as a white American, it's very important for me to get into the culture, to understand the culture. 'Cause sometimes I'll play, and David would say, you know, you're just sounding like you're playing guitar.
Really?
like you're playing a slide guitar or whatever. And so there's a difference to, you know, the nows versus just doing vibrato and knowing the difference. And that I think is very important. So for me, I know that the people who are going to appreciate my playing of this instrument will be Chinese people or people who understand Chinese culture. And I want to respect that as much as possible.
You just impressed me again. I mean, you said you, as a white American, you don't know that much about Chinese culture, but the whole thing you just described is exactly the spirit of Guqin. So how do you gain those knowledge?
Well, again, when my friend turned me on to Tai Chi, so I was never into, you know, working out or I was just in my teens. I wasn't even exercising, but I knew that I had to exercise. And because I'm an artist at heart, when my friend turned me on to Tai Chi, I thought, oh, it's exercise, but it's philosophy. It's, you know, it's spirituality. It's art.
It's not that sweaty.
It's culture. What?
Not that sweaty.
Not as what?
Sweaty.
Sweaty, yes. You don't get this exactly. But for me, I'm attracted to the aesthetics and the art and the meaning. I like meaning. I'm not going to just lift weights. I mean, now that I'm older, I'm lifting weights, but so I was picky. So I got into Tai Chi early. I got into I Ching early, and that opened me up to the mentality of Chinese culture. Another interesting side note was when I was really was learning the I Ching, I was searching for books to learn more about I Ching and Tai Chi, and I came across a book of Taoist drinking songs, which are basically drinking poems. So
that's not drunken madness.
No, but now that I've learned drunken madness, I'm tying it in. One of the things that turned me on to Taoism was this. It was almost kind of a bohemian. You know the word bohemian? It's like a bohemian approach to life. Kind of go with the flow. Kind of lay down your worries and your cares and forget about, you know, learning and being rich and being this. So it was just another way to approach enlightenment. So it's not just drinking to get, but to reach a state of awe and a state of openness, a state of wonder, and being at one with nature. And that was one thing that led me to Kora. In these drinking songs, they talked a lot about, like I said, you know, sitting by a stream with a bowl of wine and strumming a lute, which could have been a pipa or it could have been a guqin. But I didn't know that. I just thought lute. And then when I discovered the kora, I was like, I want to play the kora by a stream with a bowl of wine. Later, I learned that what they probably meant by lute, which was probably the wrong translation, was the guqin.
I think one of the uniqueness of Guqin is the culture sense, like the deep cultural meaning out of it that's combined with the philosophy, aesthetics, poets, religion. I mean, basically everything in Chinese culture that includes Taoism, Buddhism, and even Confucianism. So, advice to like non-Chinese speakers, how would you advise them to even start learning Guqin? I mean, I think it sounds like very terrifying to even start with. There's so much that they need to learn. Probably some will feel that way. What's your advice?
That's a tough one because mine took decades to get to this point, you know.
Before you even start learning Guqin.
And everybody's connection to that instrument will be different. You know, what draws them to it. And for me, it was a culmination of, you know, learning the kora and learning viola da gamba, which is another interesting instrument, cultural instrument. And tabla, I've studied a bit of Indian music as well. So that years and years of learning those things. And then when I discovered Guqin, I was like, maybe I'm ready for that.
Right.
And also viola da gamba, because I'm not much of a reader. Viola da gamba forced me to read music. So I was reading, and viola da gamba is 3 clefs. So I do treble clef, bass clef, and C clef. But I loved it because of the aesthetic and the cultural. So that primed me for Guqin. So then when I saw Paul play and made the connection, and then when I did a little research and saw the, what's it called, Jinsupu, the Guqin text, the Guqin symbols for reading the music.
简字谱
Jinsupu.
The score, you mean?
Yeah, the score.
简字谱
Yeah. And when I saw the scores, I realized, wow, it would be quite an undertaking.
Yeah, it's like reading.
Like reading, but I felt ready because I've had previous experience with reading other instruments, different cultures. And I briefly had learned a little bit of shakuhachi, which is the Japanese. So I learned a little bit of the symbols. And this was like 30 years ago, but very briefly. So I knew that I could learn music from a different language. Learning Guqin has exceeded my expectations. I love it. But for anyone, you're saying, for anyone wanting to learn, I think it helps to have a curiosity and some understanding of not only Chinese culture, but the spiritual side of it. It's cultural and it's philosophical, but it's also spiritual. So I think all 3 of those things, 3 of them are important in order to approach the instrument with respect.
And I want to add one more point.
Yeah.
I think if you feel you are not ready, then you are never ready.
Right.
So for any friends who want to learn Guqin but still hesitating, just try it. Just do the first step first.
I agree. And also Paul, one of the things that encouraged me was when I saw him that night when he played before me. Later, we all met with some other people in a room, and he brought his Guqin and he let people play it, and he would play a little bit, and I brought my kora and we played. He was playing Drunken Madness, and I didn't know what Drunken Madness was at the time, but I was just playing kora over it. But what he helped me feel was this Taoist approach of just do it. Just do it.
Don't even think about the hard part.
Yeah, I mean, I think of nature. I mean, birds don't try to chirp, and trees don't try to grow and drop. It just happens naturally. So Paul really helped me understand that we're all here to play. Sometimes things can get really serious, but there is that element of like, you just want to play. And for me, I just wanted to play it.
And just share the happiness.
And learn the, how do you say Jinsupu? How do you say that?
简字谱
Jinsupu. I'll learn one of these days. And that to me I was curious. It was beautiful and I wanted to learn it, and just follow your bliss.
And follow your heart.
Follow your heart.
Thank you, Daniel. I think we have
Pei.
really good conversation here.
Yes, I agree. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.